This year, the United Nations General Assembly is being held in New York City, and Trump was not happy.
Your countries are going to hell.
Top on the agenda was Palestine. Here is Macron.
Yesterday, we adopted a credible plan to put an end to the war in Gaza.
On October 7, 2023, Hamas attacked Israel. 1,200 people were killed, and many Israeli and other foreign nationals were taken hostage. Since then, the situation in the Middle East continues to escalate. On the Palestinian side, according to Gaza's health ministry, 63,000 Gazans have died in the war that followed. UN sources say another 1.9 million have been displaced. On the surface, it looks like many world leaders are trying to solve this. 157 out of 193 UN member countries recognize Palestine as a sovereign state. In the UN General Assembly vote on September 12, 2025, 142 states voted for a two-state solution. What is this two-state solution that's being talked about? It's one of the ways that countries of the world see as a solution to the Israel-Palestine conflict. It basically says that the way to peace is having two countries in mandatory Palestine. What's mandatory Palestine, you may ask? Mandatory Palestine was this British territory that was administered by the British till 1948. It's a complex issue and would need an entire video just dedicated to explaining it. So subscribe to my channel and stay posted. Israel currently doesn't support the idea of a two-state solution. Rewind back to July of 2025. France and Saudi Arabia co-chaired a UN conference on the two-state solution. It's here that President Macron promised to recognize a Palestinian state later on in September. Britain and Canada quickly followed, and Australia agreed as well. The goal? To establish an independent, sovereign, and economically viable and democratic Palestinian state living side by side with Israel, all set up within a 15-month timeline. These are some of the key takeaways from the statement by the co-chairs, France and Saudi Arabia, along with the co-chairs of the working group. First, it requires Hamas to immediately release all the hostages. Israel estimates that there are 48 hostages still being held by Hamas. Then, they want Hamas to sign a ceasefire and accept that they will play no part in the future governments of Gaza. For Hamas to end its rule in Gaza and to hand over its arms to the Palestinian Authority. It also states that Gaza is an integral part of the Palestinian state and must be united with the West Bank. The declaration does condemn the October 7, 2023 Hamas attacks against Israeli civilians. And it also condemns Israeli actions, that is, attacks on Gazan civilians, infrastructure, siege and starvation policies. There are also plans laid out for the reconstruction of Gaza, providing humanitarian aid and security. Mahmoud Abbas, leader of the Palestinian Authority, a political party that exercises partial control over Palestinian enclaves in the West Bank, said the authority would form the government of the West Bank in Gaza with no role for Hamas. I have pasted a link to the official PDF document in the description for those interested to read more. Even though the pressure is mounting, and it would be unlikely that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will budge, he recently said in a statement that a Palestinian state will not be established west of the Jordan River. The US calls it a misguided and ill-timed publicity stunt that undermines serious diplomatic efforts and calls it a gift to Hamas. Marco Rubio calls the move a slap on the face of the October 7th victims. In the midst of all of this, there is in fact talks that Israel may formally annex the West Bank. Donald Trump was asked about these developments, and take a look at what he said.
I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. No.
This response likely stems from Trump's first presidency. In 2020, his son-in-law Jared Kushner had helped negotiate something called the Abraham Accords. This was a deal between Arab nations and Israel to boost diplomatic ties in the region. Trump still brings this up as one of his greatest achievements and is proud of it even today. If Israel does annex the West Bank, there may be a downgrade in diplomatic ties between Israel and the Arab world, especially the UAE, who has already warned against this. This would be a blow to Trump's work, definitely. Benjamin Netanyahu had in an earlier speech said that Israel may face isolation on the world stage. As far as we can see, France is taking a lead on this two-state solution. Emmanuel Macron called on Israel to end its permanent war. He also said that Trump can only win the Nobel Peace Prize if the Gaza war is stopped. The recent developments represent the most significant, coordinated push for Palestinian statehood recognition in years, despite strong Israeli and American opposition.